You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. LSU football put a button on spring practice here on Thursday. Of course, they had their open scrimmage, formerly the spring game, on Saturday. Well, Brian Kelly wanted to make sure that he utilized the full 34-day window. Remember, from the time you have your first spring practice, you have 34 days to have 15 workouts. So Brian Kelly took 2 practices, moved them after the spring game. So they practiced Tuesday of this week and Thursday to utilize that full window. So today was the last practice. And players met with reporters afterwards. And most notably, like the newsiest thing was Kaleb Jackson when he was meeting not with the TV, but with the print reporters. So Hunt Palmer was there and got Kaleb Jackson when he was asked point blank about his future plans, because that's one of the guys many have speculated could be portal bound, especially with the emergence of Harlem Berry. Well, Kaleb Jackson put that to rest.
But just to make it clear, the portal's open, but you're not going in?
No, I'm not going in.
I don't. Do it again, please. I'm sorry. Do it again.
But just to make it clear, the portal's open, but you're not going in?
No, I'm not going in.
Okay. Kaleb Jackson not going in the transfer portal. I think that is a huge win for LSU for a lot of reasons. Number one, obviously, it maintains continuity. It's another very talented offensive player amid a ton of very talented offensive players. I will say this. I think Joe Sloan, it's a good problem, but he has an unenviable task of trying to find a way to keep everybody healthy. When you have as much offensive skill talent as LSU does on this team, that's a lot of mouths to feed, y'all. I mean, we were talking about how, a year ago, Josh Williams had 31 receptions, which is a big number. And Harlem Berry, I think it's very natural to fill in that role. And in my head, Harlem Berry is a 5 to 7 touch guy as a true freshman. And I got some pushback on that. People who might be a little familiar with the situation, it might be more like 10 to 12 a game. I'm going, how? How do you get Nick Anderson and Aaron Anderson and Xavier Thomas and Chris Hilton and Trey'Dez Green and Bauer Sharp and Caden Durham and Harlem Berry and Kaleb Jackson and Destin Hill? How do you get all of these guys touches? It's going to be a real challenge to distribute the ball and get them all touches. But the thing specifically that I like about Kaleb Jackson in this offense is he is different. In the same way that we were talking about LSU's receivers and why I love Nick Anderson is because really all of LSU's receivers, they're kind of the same guy. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful. They're all very skilled and talented and explosive. But when you look at Aaron Anderson and Xavier Thomas, and, for example, Aaron Anderson, 5'8", 187. Chris Hilton, 6', 192. Kyle Parker, 5'11", 197. Xavier Thomas, 5'10", 195. Jelani Watkins, 5'9", 163. My point is, all of these guys, Barry and Brown, they're all 6 foot or shorter, and none of them are over 200 pounds. So you bring in Nick Anderson, and he's 6'4", 219 and can fly. He brings a different dimension. So when you have someone like Caden Durham, for example, 5'9", 205, low to the ground, great balance, good maneuverability, and as we saw at times, great breakaway speed. You add Harlem Berry to the mix, another guy, 5'8", 5'9", 185 pounds, can fly, great hands, maneuverability. But then you look at Kaleb Jackson, 6 foot, 235. He provides a different dimension at that position. Kaleb Jackson garnered so much attention because before his freshman season, I don't know if y'all remember this, but LSU had a scrimmage in Tiger Stadium and the media was allowed to attend. And Kaleb Jackson, the offense was very slow in this scrimmage. And Kaleb Jackson had the two most jaw-dropping plays. He broke about 5 tackles on a running play and scored around left end. And then he also caught a screen pass and took it 75 yards. It was a screen pass, incidentally, from Nussmeier. He caught it and took it 75 yards up the east sideline. I made a guy miss, broke a tackle, then outraced everybody. And everyone's going, oh, my God, like, he's next. And then they go play Mississippi State, and he just murdered some poor child on the sideline, if you all remember that play. So there was so much excitement about Kaleb Jackson because when he touched it, it was like, hold your breath, but there were limited touches. Well, I mean, my hand's in the air. Going into 2024, every interview I did, every interview, SEC Media Days or anywhere preseason, hey, who's the guy to keep an eye on? My answer routinely was the guy right now who is not a household name, who will be by the end of the season, is Kaleb Jackson. And boy, did I whiff. I mean, John Emery went down with injury, as we saw, and Josh Williams was a consistent player, but that opened the door for Caden Durham, who on the road at South Carolina grabbed the reins and never let go. And so we only saw Kaleb Jackson have 44 rushing attempts for 150 yards. That's it. 44 in 13 games, he had 44 rushing attempts. So, you know, there is, with no Josh Williams, a massive opportunity now. And the fact that he provides a different dimension opens the door for opportunity. But I think also with Harlan Berry coming in and JT Lindsey coming in June, there's a lot of people who, and by the way LSU has used Aaron Anderson and Xavier Thomas in the backfield in spring, there were a lot of people who looked and said, maybe that's the open door for Kaleb Jackson to leave and go find a place where he's going to be able to get on the field. But he definitively said that's not happening. And look, this has been a process for Kaleb Jackson. Last September, this was the end of September, Brian Kelly met with reporters and talked about so this is a month into the season, about how they're still developing in that phase of Kaleb Jackson's career.
I think you got to look back on the history of Kaleb. Didn't play much football. It was actually a soccer player. Played very little high school football. And then he came in here and, his freshman year, true freshman year, ran a couple of guys over and everybody thought he was going to win the Heisman. And so he's in a developmental phase. And so the more reps that he gets, the more things that he sees, the more kind of intuitiveness kind of begins to build in so he can break off of things and really do completely all the things that a back needs to do. That's the process he's in. He's still learning. I love the way he approaches it every day because he could be a guy that's sulking, but he does it the right way and goes to work every day the right way.
You love that. Now, Kaleb Jackson, when he met with reporters, also talked about remember, like the play we just talked about, that scrimmage, that was before his freshman season, and it garnered a ton of conversation about him. He talked about all that hype he had early before he even took a snap.
Growth-wise, like I said, I had to get way stronger mentally going through last year. Like, I went through my freshman year, and everybody saying, oh, Kaleb Jackson, the next this, next that, next this, oh, he's going to be amazing. And I kind of got high on cloud nine thinking, okay, it's just going to happen. Like, if I just keep doing what I'm doing, it's just going to happen. And that's not how it happens. You got to stay in the film room. You got to stay doing this, stay doing that, and keep stacking and keep growing as a player. So, really, I just got to think, maybe I can shoot for the stars, but at the same time, I got to stay grounded and spill my feet off. I got to be Kaleb Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Just play like me, run like me, read like me, and, just be great like me.
There was another moment where I love that, by the way, the self-awareness to say, I got very high on my supply. The other thing, there was a play in fall camp last year where Kaleb Jackson took a pass from Garrett Nussmeier out in the flat, and he ran over Whit Weeks. He dump trucked Whit Weeks out in space. Knocked him back. Whit even joked about it later. It's like, I'm glad that guy's on our team. That's Whit Weeks. That's an All-American caliber linebacker that he went one-on-one and just bulldozed him. The video's up on Twitter if you want to see it. It's on the LSU official account. So he's had these moments where you go, it's in there. It's not just recruiting hype. Like, we've seen it in small supply, but God, if you could ever harness it and expand upon that, yeah, man, that's a guy that brings a different dimension to your offense. You'd love to see it. I'm glad he's staying because while I am very high, we know what Caden Durham can be, I'm very high on what Harlan Berry will be. I love the option of having someone who is physically built different so you have a variety. It's like at tight end. Trey'Dez Green is 6'7", 245, but you need the guy that can put his hand in the dirt and go bulldoze people as well. That's why someone like Bauer Sharp and Donovan Green, like all three of those guys have different skill sets, but they're all sort of interchangeable in spots as well. So yes, Kaleb Jackson staying is really significant news for LSU, and we're looking forward to seeing what he might be here in his junior season as he continues to progress throughout his career. So fantastic news with Kaleb Jackson returning to LSU for his junior season. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.